Can saving $50 a month really cost a company six figures? I work for a company I genuinely enjoy. The people are supportive, the culture is positive, and overall it's a great place to be. When I joined earlier this year, I asked a simple question during onboarding. Will I get a company phone, or can I expense my personal phone bill? My manager checked with HR and came back with an answer. This role doesn't qualify for a company phone because it doesn't require after-hours support. That answer made sense. My role isn't tied to daily operational support, and even when I worked with the company before as a consultant, I was never contacted outside working hours. So I was actually happy with that setup. No late-night calls, no unexpected interruptions. Because of that, I set clear boundaries from day one. I didn't include a phone number in my email signature or internal profile. I didn't install work apps on my personal phone. All communication stayed within work hours using email, Teams, Zoom, or my desk phone. For months, everything worked perfectly, until one night when things took a very different turn. A major system update was scheduled for one of the platforms I oversee. The operations team was responsible for applying the update. We had already tested everything in a QA environment, and both my manager and I had reviewed and approved it. Everything looked ready. The update began, and at first it went smoothly. Then a small step was performed incorrectly. It wasn't a huge issue on its own, something that could likely have been fixed fairly quickly. But in the moment, with pressure building, the team assumed the update itself was the problem. They started troubleshooting based on that assumption, and that's where things started to go off track. Meanwhile, I was offline. No one could reach me. I wasn't responding to emails, and since I had no phone number listed anywhere, there was no quick way to contact me. As time passed, the pressure increased. The team kept trying different fixes, but they were working in the wrong direction. Then the situation became much worse. During the recovery attempts, something went seriously wrong. The database was wiped. To make matters worse, the backup they tried to use became unusable during the process. At that point, their only option was to restore from tape backups that were about a week old. This method is very slow and doesn't include recent data, which meant even more work later. The next morning, I logged in and immediately realized something major had happened. There were urgent messages, missed emails, and ongoing recovery efforts. I quickly joined a call with the operations manager. To his credit, he remained calm and focused. No one pointed fingers. The priority was simply to fix the issue and move forward. It really reflected the company's strong culture. He asked me what happened and why I wasn't available. I explained the situation clearly. I didn't have a company phone, and my role was not expected to provide after-hours support. Later, my manager asked the same question. I gave the same answer. After all, he was the one who originally confirmed that my role didn't require that level of availability. Once things settled, I reviewed the situation in detail. The original issue, it was not very complex. If I had been reachable, I'm confident I could have helped guide the team and resolve it within a few hours. Instead, the recovery process took 5 full days. Systems had to be restored, lost transactions had to be reprocessed, and everything had to be carefully brought back to normal. After that, business teams spent additional time verifying the data to ensure everything was accurate. In total, the company lost about a week of productivity. Systems were unavailable, reports were delayed, customer service efficiency was affected. Internal teams had to spend extra time fixing and validating everything. One of the business leaders later estimated the overall impact to be in the six-figure range. All of this over a decision to save roughly $50 per month on a company phone. What makes it more interesting is that many employees in IT do receive company phones because they are expected to handle after-hours support. Only a smaller group, including me, does not qualify due to how our roles are defined. After everything was resolved, my manager asked if I had a personal phone. I said yes, but I had chosen not to use it for work. I work with many external vendors, and I prefer to keep my personal number private and maintain clear boundaries between work and personal life. In the end, I did share my personal number with the operations manager for true emergencies. I didn't want my team to struggle if I could help prevent it, but the policy itself, it hasn't changed. Sometimes trying to save a small amount of money can quietly create a much bigger problem later.